This video is of me solving our homework from chapter 5, pages 132 to 133. Start with problem number 4. Is m minus 58 equals 12. I need to get m alone, so I'm going to add 58 to both sides. Cancels that out. I'm left with m equals 70. Since I want you all to check your work, we are going to check that 70 minus 58 equals 12. Yes, it does. Please also circle your answers. Whoops. Our next problem is number 6, which is z divided by 3 equals 45. So here we want to get z, the variable z alone, so if it's divided by 3, we do the opposite, which is multiply each side by z, cancels out. I'm left with z equals 135. We will check, or your book says, prove, which is fine as well. So 135 divided by 3 equals 45, and 45. Yep, that checks. Number 11, 25a minus 11 equals 64. Okay, this is a multi-step problem. I want all the numbers to be together and all the variables to be together. So I want to get this 11 over. Since it's minus 11, I do the opposite. I'm going to add 11 to each side. I'm left with 25a equals 75. It's 25 times a. I need to do the opposite to get that alone. So I'm going to divide each side by 25. I get a equals 3. I'm going to check my work. 25 times 3 minus 11. Does that equal 64? 75 minus 11. Does that equal 64? Sure does. Check. All right, problem 12. Problem 12 is r divided by 5 plus 33 equals 84. I'm going to get the 33 over to the other side by subtracting 33. R divided by 5 equals 51. I'm going to multiply each side by 5, and I get 255 as my answer. Okay, I was just double checking my math on the calculator, and I was correct. So we want to check that 255 divided by 5 plus 33 actually equals 84. 255 divided by 5 is 51. 51 plus 33 is 84. I'm going to do problem 15 next. 15 is 12 times the quantity 2d minus 4 equals 72. Now if you recall with these, we have to do inside the parentheses first. 2D minus 4, I can't combine those. Luckily, there's this 12 times the quantity, which we are going to distribute. I always draw those lines just to remind myself. 12 times 2D is 24D. Minus 12 times 4 is 48, equals 72. Now I want to get this 48 over, so if it's subtracting 48, then I have to add 48 to take it to the other side. 24D equals 120. Divide each side by 24. Double check my math here. D equals 5. Check my work. 12 times the quantity 2 times 5 minus 4 equals 72. 2 times 5 is 10. There, I'll just rewrite this so you can see. $72 equals 72. We are good. Now let's take a look at number 16. Is 14V plus 5 minus 5V equals 4 times the quantity V plus 5. All right, we have a couple things to do here. We need to combine like terms, and we also need to deal with the parentheses. So we're going to do the parentheses first. Everything else stays the same on this side. And this becomes 4V plus 20. Okay, now on this left-hand side, I'm going to do 14V minus 5V. Gives us 9V plus 5. Oops, that's a 4V plus 20. Then I'm going to subtract 5 from each side. Then I'm going to bring the 4V over. I want the numbers on one side and the variables on the other. Divide each side by 5. V equals 3. Now let's just check our work here. 14 times 3 plus 5 minus 5 times 3 equals 4 times the quantity, 3 plus 5. Okay. That checks out. Now let's take a look at number 17. Q plus 20 equals 3 times the quantity 9 minus 2Q. We're going to do our distribution first to get rid of the parentheses. 3 times 9 is 27, minus 3 times 2 is 6, and we bring that Q with us. I'm going to subtract 20 from each side. Cancels out. We're left with Q equals 7 minus 6Q. We'll add 6Q to each side. Cancels out. 7Q equals 7. Q equals 1. Let's check our work here. 1 plus 20 equals 3 times 9 minus 2 times 1. That's 21. 9 minus 1 is 7. 3 times 7 is 21. 21 equals 21. Check. Number 20. Okay, it says for the following statements, underline the keywords and translate into expressions. It says 6 less than 1/4 of C. So our keywords are less than and of. So 1/4 of C is just 1/4 C, and less than, we're subtracting 6. Let's take a look at 23. It says the difference of 8y and 128. Okay, again, there's that difference. So we are subtracting. We're going to start with 8y minus 128. Number 24. It says 7 times the quantity of x and 7 times the quantity of x and 7. So 7 times the quantity of x plus 7. 25 is 40 more than 3/4 of b. More than and of. So 3/4 of b is just 3/4 b. This is 40 more than, so we're going to add. I'm going to jump down to 27. Underline keywords translate into equations. So it says the number totals, keyword there, 5 times, keyword, b and c. So some number totals equals 5 times b and c. So 5b and c. Remember, if it said the quantity of, then we would do 5 parentheses b plus c. But it says 5 times b and c. So that's what we end up with. All right, number 28 is 12 less than, keyword there, 4g leaves 33. So 4g minus 12 equals 33. Our next problem is 31. Sorry about that. 31 says, here's a long one, 4 more than, we know those are keywords, 5 times, keyword, a number, plus 2 times that number is that number increased by 40. Okay, so we are just going to go through this step by step. Let me So 4 more than 5 times a number, so that's 5x plus 4, plus 2 times that number is equals that number increased by 40. Then our last problem is our business decision on grouping symbols. So it talks about grouping symbols are used to arrange numbers, variables, and operations. In this chapter, you learn to use the grouping symbols known as parentheses. In addition to parentheses, other symbols are used for grouping. We've got brackets and we've got braces. When solving equations with multiple groups, we always start with the innermost symbols and work our way to the outside. So in business, you may encounter situations that require you to set up equations with more than just parentheses. So it wants us to solve the following equation. So for 32, make sure you can see this here, we have x equals 6, so quantity 2 plus bracket 3, brace 9 minus 3, brace plus brace 8 plus 1. It's okay if these don't look great. And close parentheses. Okay, so we're going to work from the inside out. So these are the innermost in here. 9 minus 3 is 6. So I do one operation per line. Right, so that's what we get, plus 8 plus 1, which is 9. So for our next line, we are going to do, this is 3 times 6, so we're going to make that 18, and that's plus 9 minus 4. So then we're going to do 18 plus 9 and subtract 4. We'll do this all in one line. So 18 plus 9 is 27. 27 minus 4 is 23. Next line is 6. 2 plus 23 is 25. 6 times 25 is 150.